no filter in sight. Jason's got the insights, always gets it right. Sean's the wild card with a laugh in the night. On FolkLOOR, they banter about the latest fight. FolkLOOR podcast, stories non-stop, entertainment, gossip, and tech's new crop. Loud opinions, like a punk rock bop. Marcus, Jason, Sean, they never drop. Streaming wars and startup dreams. Jason's predictions like rapid laser beams.
Welcome to the FolkLOOR podcast, while Marcus works on his microphone problems, where we talk about the latest Hollywood problems and gossip, and we don't really talk about the gossip much, actually. But we have a good time talking about Hollywood things. No microphone yet for Marcus.
I'm muted again. I did it again. I can't believe I did it again. I was sitting there like, well, do I have a microphone problem? That's what.
Yeah. Marcus never makes the same mistake thrice.
Next week.
Next week.
How embarrassing for me to have an opener that is so clumsy week after week.
You know what? But it makes us laugh every week.
I know. Now everybody's going to be expecting it now. Like I have to do it.
Yeah. First time you get it right is going to be the best joke of all.
Do you think the lead singer of Blink has ever heard our theme song and he's like, that guy's totally ripping off. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he was ripping off Billy Joe, who was ripping off The Clash.
Yeah. Who's really mad is Joe Strummer. That's who everybody owes an apology to.
Right.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I want to say before we get started is I want to talk about, first off, welcome all the new Instagram followers and subscribers. Big week on Instagram for us. The video that Natasha made about Netflix's casting choice, which we'll get into, has over about 40,000 views on Instagram right now, and the same on TikTok, 40,000 on TikTok as well. But TikTok won't let us go live, so this is the first time a lot of people on Instagram are hearing of the FolkLOOR podcast. So welcome. We talk about movies and pop culture, current events here, and we're glad to have you. So should we hop right into the story today, or did everybody have an interesting week? Or
I think we hop right into the story. It's like watching my own personal hell be developed by Netflix.
Okay, I'm going to pull up the article. Sean, you bring us in. Tell us what we're talking about.
Well, yeah, I think we got to tee this up. I mean, I think first we need to hear from both of you about just a little backstory on Narnia, why it's important, what it means, and then what's happening today. Yeah, so first, let's just imagine for somebody who doesn't really understand the importance of Narnia.
So Narnia is a series of 7 books written by C.S. Lewis about some English school children that go into a magical land and help rescue it. Basically, that's what the story is. But it's one of the most well-loved, best-selling children's stories of all time. It is written. C.S. Lewis wrote a deeply Christian world, but he wrote it in such a way that everyone could enjoy it, just taking the truth and the joy and the beauty of the world and trying to embed it deeply into a magical world so that people would learn how to see their own lives as full of magic and wonder and joy. And that's why he wrote it. It has been deeply important to me throughout my life. C.S. Lewis is my favorite. I've probably read more words by C.S. Lewis than any other author. I've read
that's saying something, because you read a lot.
Yeah, I do. I love to read. He wrote about 50 books. I've read 43 of them. And he is, I think, I mean, this is the one I'm reading right now. English literature in the 16th century, excluding drama, from the Oxford History of English Literature. One of the most brilliant minds of the last 300 years, probably since maybe Milton or Shakespeare was the greatest mind in the English language. And the rights to make movies and TV shows from Narnia have been now passed around multiple times and landed in Netflix. And
well, let's talk about what they're gonna do to it. So I have the article pulled up. This was actually posted 6 hours ago from Collider. We originally we reported this on Instagram and TikTok, and we were kind of thinking maybe it's a rumor, maybe it's not maybe it's just one of those things. Jason, you were saying they just put out there to show people, look how bad of an idea this would be.
That's what I was hoping.
You were hoping? Well, Collider reported it shortly after we were having that conversation, which I think adds a lot more credibility to it. But as news continues to trickle in for Greta Gerwig's Chronicles of Narnia films at Netflix, Meryl Streep is in talks to voice Aslan, the Great Lion. Yes, you read that right. Films coming from the Lady Bird and Barbie director will make Aslan female, and the upcoming adaptation of C.S. Lewis's fantasy series. We've already learned that the first movie will release on 1,000 IMAX screens worldwide on Thanksgiving Day. This honestly reads like a April Fool's Day joke because
I had my hopes.
it says movie. Is it a movie? I thought it was going to be a TV series they were doing.
I thought it was a TV series too. So I was hopeful until this came out. I was hopeful that it was an April Fool's Day joke. It would be the greatest April Fool's Day joke in a decade. It made it all the way to deadline.
Yeah. So, no way to really verify. Like, there's no way to officially verify it because there's no source from the studio. But that one that brings me hope is like, what were you saying today? Is like the director was probably like, no way, and then so he leaked it just to show someone.
Yeah, I was hoping that the director said, "This is a terrible idea. I'm going to leak it just to so that we can see everybody's response." So, because Greta Gerwig did Barbie, which was an incredible movie. She wrote and starred in Lady Bird. She's a very talented storyteller. And so I was hopeful when she got called up, and hopefully the backlash causes them to change directions, because this was like if the White Witch was the director of Narnia. Let's let the bad guy tell the story.
Yeah, I mean, why don't they're probably going to recast the White Witch as a black person. I mean, would it surprise you?
No,
I mean,
not at this point.
You just kind of be like, oh yeah, that's something Netflix would do. But Sean, what do you think, man?
Well, you know how much I love Meryl Streep. She's so near and dear to me. She's just so warm and kind and generous and so humble.
That's what she's known for, right?
She's very humble. Yeah, she's just such a relatable person who relates to the people, who understands the plights of the common man and woman, or they, them. Yeah, I share your sadness over this, and I actually, we've got some mail which we can lead into later, but I don't think we're alone.
Okay,
I haven't seen a single person say, "What a great idea."
Not a single person. So let's do this. Let's show you the video that Natasha did, which is great. She did a great.
Yeah. What's her handle, by the way? What's so everybody knows?
It's well, this is on the lore account, but it's I'll pull that up. I don't want to misspell
What's the lore? What's the lore handle? It's FolkLOOR.
FolkLOOR.
Yeah. WATCHLOOR. So this is the one she did.
You're gonna make Aslan a woman? Narnia is one of the most beloved Christian parables that we have. We all know that Aslan represents Jesus. But you're telling me, Miss Greta, who doesn't know our Jesus, Lord bless your soul, I pray for your salvation, but do not touch my Aslan. Jesus Christ is not a woman. This lady over here thinking she gonna cast Meryl Streep as the voice of Aslan? Aslan is not a parable for New Ageism. Sorry, honey. C.S. Lewis was not promoting feminism when he wrote this story. Y'all drop a comment if you are not with Aslan being voiced by a woman.
Yeah, so that is great. So that is good, and she made this response today. I'll pull up the response she made today. So this is the next
And
one.
here it is officially. As news continues to trickle in for Greta Gerwig's Chronicles of Narnia films at Netflix, Meryl Streep is in talks to voice Aslan the Great Lion. Yes, you read that right. The films coming from the Lady Bird and Barbie director will make Aslan female in the upcoming adaptation of C.S. Lewis's Narnia. Aslan is not a female. And if you're a Christian, you well understand why. We love females, and so does C.S. Lewis. And two of his brave characters, Susan and Lucy, are precious women. But of course, that is not enough for Miss Greta. It is her religion being quite literally superimposed into C.S. Lewis's religion, his belief, his world system, it was based off of Christianity. We all understand the significance of Aslan, representing the Son, the God-man, Jesus Christ, the Lion of the tribe of Judah. And we at Lore TV are so sick of it, we are inviting you to join the revolution. At Lore TV, we are supporting original artists with original stories where you, the subscriber, gets to fund what gets made, not some Hollywood elites who care nothing for the original story and the audience it was made for, but only about pushing their agendas. We are going live today, 5:15 Eastern Time, 2:15 Pacific. Drop a comment and I'll send you the link.
All right.
Bravo.
Yes. All right. Well done. So that's Natasha. She's really crushing it on the Lore socials right now. And I think, I mean, the outrage seemed to be, even reading, there's like, there's 1,000 comments. I had to mute my phone from all the comments and engagement on that post, but didn't seem like there were a lot of people too happy with it.
Yeah.
So
my only hope is that the outrage is such that they go, oh, maybe it is a bad idea.
But here's my question. So if Meryl Streep does voice Aslan, does that mean the lion is a female lion? Are they going to have to change the look and his mane and like all it's so strange.
It's going to be a kitten. It's going to be a kitten. Meow, isn't that funny?
That would be so funny. Yeah. I just can't imagine them going through with it. Even in the Deadline article, didn't it just say they approached her or something? I don't know if I could live in a world.
I don't think it's real. I honestly think this was in talks. I think there were some. Let's assume there were just some industry executives who actually thought it was a great idea, and they wanted to prove how happy people would be about it, and they leaked it because it was their idea, and now they're completely embarrassed and ashamed.
I think it's just.
Go ahead, Sean.
Well, I just think it's a Streep tease, and this is just trolling. They're just doing a little trolling.
A Streep tease.
A Streep tease.
What is it? Is it just to get her name out there from her like PR?
Yeah, it's a good way.
To kind of be like, why don't you have Meryl Streep do it?
Yeah, it's like instead of doing a $1 billion Survey Monkey campaign.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, we'll just do this, and we'll see how people react.
Yeah, if the idea is we just want everybody to know that it's getting made, that worked. So.
Yeah. Well, I can just tell you by the influx of mail today, this is it's a lightning rod. This is a third rail issue.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Hey, is it too early to to ask what your trivia is?
I think we should go for it. I think we should go for it.
Let's go for it. Trivia.
Okay. So here's the trivia question. So Netflix, we all know, launched in 1997 as an in-mail video DVD rental company. And eventually in 2007, it added streaming to its offering. And then in 2010, it launched a streaming subscription alongside an iPhone app, removing the barriers to entry of being a web-only platform. In 2013, it launched its first original show. In 2016, as a show of dominance and just pure power, it opened in 113 countries on a single day. But in the year 2000, 3 years after launching its in-mail rental company, there's a famous meeting where Blockbuster laughed an acquisition offer out of the room. Netflix offered to sell to Blockbuster, and they laughed at them and made them leave. How much was that offer for?
Ooh, wow.
I know the answer to this question, so I'm going to recuse myself.
I just feel like I graduated with a degree in media every time you have a trivia question.
It's always a lecture.
You have to set the scene, right, to understand how big of a deal it is that Blockbuster laughed at them.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great one. Okay. So
Laura says it takes Jason 20 years to get to the question.
I know. Land the plane. So just to summarize the abbreviated version of the trivia question.
How much was Netflix willing to sell to Blockbuster in 2000 when they came in? They said, "Hey, we got this plan for a streaming service to launch out of here, and we'll sell it to you for this amount."
Okay.
And within 15 years, they were able to open in 113 countries on a single day. That's how big they got.
Wow.
And
was Reed Hastings on this? He was in this meeting?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Huh. That's a good one. I can't wait to. We're already getting some. The chat is just it's like popcorn right now.
I do like Victor. You give the storyteller the job of writing trivia questions, and you're going to get a story. That's.
I also want to say hi to new faces in here, Alec Lowe, and we've got we've got a few new people in here. Smith Wesson, I like that's someone new, and Media Moses. Yeah, hello to some of our new humans.
I would hate to run into Smith Wesson in a dark alley.
I would too.
Just because he's probably packing.
Hey,
yeah.
What did we get everything off our chest about this whole?
I think so.
street?
I just needed to get it out there.
Yeah.
I think people need to know that there is I don't know. I don't think it's there's just an addiction to corrupting original source material.
Yeah. Well, it's like I heard there's a rumor they're going to turn Wonder Woman into just Wonder Man. I don't know if that's just a rumor or they're just in talks, but Wonder Man.
That would I think that would be that'd be amazing. They should totally do that.
Actually, that's another skit idea for us, and to kind of circle it back to a few weeks ago, could be Wonder Man the musical.
Wonderman.
Yeah, Wonderman. I like that. Is it too early for mail, or am I jumping the gun?
No, I think we're ready for mail.
Are you ready?
Yeah,
okay.
Let's do the mail.
We got some physical mail, and then we got some email.
All right.
And just for anybody who doesn't know, E stands for electronic. So the mail gets delivered electronically, and then I print it out. Where? Okay. Oh wow. Okay, so this one is from Manny Garcia in Sacramento. It's a long one. I might have to shorten it down. Gentlemen, I just heard the news. I write to you from a place of deep existential despair. A darkness has crept into my soul, and not the cool kind, like a moody Batman phase. Because, gentlemen, I've just learned that Meryl Streep, yes, Meryl Streep, will be playing Aslan in the next Chronicles of Narnia. Let's pause and let that sink in. Meryl Streep, Aslan. The Great Lion, the King of Narnia, the walking, roaring, divine metaphor for Jesus Christ himself, played by Miranda Priestley from The Devil Wears Prada. Now, before the film bros come after me, let me be clear. Meryl Streep is an acting goddess. This woman could play a sentient loaf of bread and win an Oscar. But this Aslan is not an elderly theater professor who asks you to project from your diaphragm. He is not the aunt who drinks too much red wine at Thanksgiving and starts talking about her lost youth. He is a majestic, celestial lion who literally dies for our sins and then casually comes back to life like it was a Tuesday. And let's spare the fact that Aslan is a male lion. No one has the patience for a feline gender reaffirming debate. He goes on, but I think he's just basically says, if we cannot be saved by this movie madness, I fear I must sign out into the deep woods with my Lord of the Rings box set. Please help. You have some advice for Manny?
Yeah. I'd say move into the woods with your Lord of the Rings box set. Don't forget the Silmarillion. And go for it. That's my advice.
Yeah, Manny, thank you for writing in. And I don't know how you survive in Sacramento, because that's the second largest open air asylum in the world, next to Los Angeles. I have one more letter. This is a physical letter that was mailed with a forever stamp, which I like that. I like it when people use their forever stamps. This is, I think this is to you guys, because you're the whiskey guys. It says, guys, I need your expertise. A tragedy has befallen my household. I was sipping my favorite bourbon last night, aged 12 years, the kind that makes you question your life choices in the best way. When my wife walked in and said, you know, it all tastes the same, right? My brain short-circuited like an overworked Dell laptop from 2003. I lovingly tried to explain the nuances, the caramel undertones, the smoky finish, the warm hug from the universe. But she just blinked at me as if I told her I could see the future. As fellow men of culture, how do I proceed? Do I file for divorce? Start a support group? Host a whiskey tasting intervention? I fear if this continues, next she'll tell me South Park is offensive and unfunny. And I'll have no choice but to move back into my mother's sewing room. Please advise. Sincerely, Joe Kent, Louisville.
Well, I've got some advice for Joe Kent. You just get her white wine. She will, she'll be fine. And you just get her white wine. And because you can't force somebody to taste glory. It's just, doesn't work that way.
Really quick, while we're talking about whiskey, what's your favorite? What's your go-to?
I can show you what I've got right now that I'm enjoying.
Oh yeah, show it. I like that.
So, got the Woodinville straight bourbon pot distilled.
Wow.
So
can you hold it up just for a second so we can I can taste it almost.
Push shot.
Yeah.
That's what I've got right at the moment. It's quite good. It's from right here in Washington.
And then Marcus has got the whole world in his hands. What do you got there?
My wife got me this carafe, and it has a ship in the middle of it. If you can see,
that's amazing.
I don't remember what whiskey is in here, but I do remember it's over $100 bottle. It's like one of the nice ones, and I save it for special occasions. So I believe it's a very nice Macallan.
Okay.
My all-time favorite,
which is not a whiskey, but you guys you get it.
Yeah, my all-time favorite is the Lefroy Quarter Cask, where they take a they take an aged Lafroig and then age it longer in quarter casks of sherry, and that's my all-time favorite.
We need a good whiskey travel show. How come that doesn't exist? You know, you can go to Ireland and Scotland, and then bourbon with Kentucky and
Japan.
Japan now.
Yeah, this is good stuff coming out of Japan. That'd be a great travel show. Anybody wants to fund a really good whiskey travel show on Lore, let me know.
At this rate, the Japanese will be Presbyterian in no time.
And I want to wrap our mailbox segment or mailbag, I don't know what they're calling it these days, just with a call to action. Everybody, please keep writing and sending your email either electronically or physically.
Yeah,
because we read it all. We read all the mail.
We do,
and that's it.
It's a mail bag, though, not a female bag.
It could. You never know. If it was over at Netflix, it'd be a female bag.
Yeah,
for sure. Or a feline.
Good one, Victor.
Yeah, I stole that from Victor.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, Victor.
and well, do you want to move on to the SNL or IRL segment? You want to set that up? I got the video ready to go.
Yeah, I just I first saw this video. It's been out for maybe almost a year now. And I want to say I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the artistry. So I don't want to take these gentlemen down. But every time I watch it, I'm like, is this Lonely Island doing this, or is this real? Because it really is hard to tell. It could be Lonely Island. What say you? Let's watch it.
They call me offensive, controversial. There's only two genders. Because I'm the biggest independent rapper in the whole freaking world. Claim that I'm racist, yeah, right. I'm not ashamed.
This is Tom McDonald setting this up while we wait and try not to get copyright struck. This is Tom McDonald, who I actually think is insanely talented.
He's very talented.
I really like Tom McDonald a lot. I mean, the guy puts out almost like a video a week, or he was at one point doing that much. It was an insane amount. And then this, of course, is he started bringing in politically conservative celebrities to be the host of the thing.
Now, if you think that looks like you think that looks like Ben Shapiro.
I'm you know, it's either Ben Shapiro or the guy who plays him on Saturday Night Live. So.
Yeah, but you gotta let it play through the part where Ben gets in here.
Let's look at the stats. I've got the facts. My money like Lizzo, my pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic. Don't be a wap. Dog, it's a yarmulke. Homie, no cap. Look at the graphs. Look at my charts.
I can't take this seriously. I'll explain why.
I'm torn because I appreciate the boldness, and Ben is a fast talker, so it kind of he's got the skills.
Yeah,
but
okay,
it's
okay. I'll explain why this bothers me so much.
Please
of that.
do.
The reason this bothers me so much is because a majority of the Daily Wire hosts hate rap music. They're always trashing rap music, and not like just the lyrics of it or the depravity of certain artists. They actually reject the form, right? And so when you see Tom McDonald with Ben Shapiro, who has said really awful things about hip hop without really lacking any understanding of the art form and the genre and whatnot, and then there he is on a Tom McDonald video doing rap. You just go, what is going on? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And but yeah, I completely forgot about that song already. So it was that's what I call meme rap, where it's a meme. It lasts for about maybe a week, and then people just completely forget about it. But it's not like culturally influential or anything.
No. But all joking aside, I want to acknowledge that Tom is really talented.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. This is not about Tom. This is not about Tom.
Yeah. And it was just the collab. It was like, I could see where they got inspired to do it, and I was like, yeah, let's just do this. But it was like, but is it really a good idea?
The Roseanne Barr one was actually funny, and actually really good. But Roseanne's a comedian, so it made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made sense, and seeing Roseanne with cornrows is that was just amazing, right? Like that was
pretty amazing,
and trashing the Connors on ABC. That was really great. But again, this is the thing I think, especially when you talk about like conservatives and art and conservatives and culture, you really can't create lasting cultural impact from news events, right? So like their news events move really fast. The news cycle is really quick, and you make something, you might be able to get a viral hit off of it. Just like we got the Instagram video that's got 40,000 views from Aslan or anything like that. That video is not going to make a cultural impact, right? It's not going to be long lasting, and you have to really keep on top of those sort of things to really be able to do that. And so this is what I think, like a lot, we need stories that last for generations, not news cycles. And that's something I don't think anybody's really even attempted or tried at the moment.
That's a good point.
And I don't blame Ben Shapiro for wanting to do a rap song and have a good time.
Listen. If Tom McDonald called me and was like, "Hey, I want you and Jason and Sean in a Tom McDonald music video," I would be like, "Let's go!" I would be first plane.
Right.
I would completely do it. You can't you can't blame him for doing it,
right? And it's my hope that it just means that Shapiro doesn't take himself as seriously as it seems like he does sometimes. Yeah. He's just having a good time.
Yeah.
But I do think that,
or he does take himself seriously, and he's doing a PR move to make you think he doesn't take himself seriously.
Yeah, that's true.
That's problematic.
but I think that as conservatives, we always live for the last 30 years lived very responsively. What's going on? We're going to comment. When we live as critics too often, and not as people that love to create art and give the gift of our hard work to people, and because it's easier to be a critic. It's risky to love something, to create something, and it's very easy to be a critic. And I think that the Daily Wire has kind of built itself in that critic posture, and so it's hard to take it seriously in this situation. And because and as somebody that has a deep appreciation for hip hop and the history of hip hop and the artistry and the poetry, I was like, oof.
It did make your top 10 list, didn't it?
No.
You're not going to file it next to your De La Soul and your Tribe button.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm glad we took the time to take a deeper analysis of that music video, and thank you for joining us for this segment.
Oh man!
Thank you for bringing that to our attention again, Sean.
Yes, I thought it was just the right time after a year of that.
After a year, it's time to revisit because everybody's forgot it.
That's right. And let's not forget.
I also wondered if that was the first time Shapiro had ever worn a hoodie. That was my first thought was, I wonder if he's ever worn a hoodie before this.
Yeah. He looked good. He looked good. I don't want to rip him too hard.
John, why don't you pick the next subject that we're going for now?
Well, I don't know if we talked about did I talk about my favorite FolkLOOR TV film?
Not yet.
No. Gothics. It's Gothics. That's another one. It's been around for a year, and I'm breathing life back into it. But this is one of the best documentaries I have ever seen, and I don't say that lightly.
Yeah, you want me to pull up the trailer? You'll talk about it, and I'll pull up the trailer.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
When my daughter, when she was 17, watched it before we launched it, and she said, "Dad, every teenager needs to see this movie." She was really impressed.
Yeah, I agree with that. And why I think that there's a lot of reasons why that documentary is so good. One is it's just very raw and real. You're really peering into someone's heart and soul and mind. And no one's pulling any punches. Gothics is very vulnerable in this film. But the thing that's special about it is, as a documentary filmmaker, when you go to do a subject, but then all of a sudden something that you didn't plan happens, and your subject is going through a life transformation, and you would have never had it planned,
right,
and you're able to capture that, that's lightning in a bottle. And it happens maybe 1 out of 1,000 times of making a documentary. So Graham, who directed this, he not only got really lucky, but then he was very tactful at how he embraced it and captured it. And to me, this is a piece of art. It's a piece of wisdom. It's inspiring. And it captured a moment in time that this is perennial. You'll be able to show this film 10 years from now and it still matters.
Yeah, I completely agree. Let's play this one.
Disney has found the new Ariel,
taking on the iconic role and becoming the first black Ariel.
Ariel, the Little Mermaid, is going to be black. Drown mad about it.
White people are big mad about a black woman portraying Ariel. Racist ass behavior needs to be called out.
I guess Ariel is of Norwegian descent, or is it Swedish or something?
Guys,
it's
let's
time
go.
for something different.
Seeing people automatically say, okay, the reason you have a problem with this is because you're racist is an issue for me.
I always thought the same way. Like me, I'm a big comic book fan. To me, what comes first is a great character before their ethnicity, because that's not what defines you.
I chimed in, I said, we need to stop doing this. None of the messages and DMs or comments I got were actually constructive. Everything was, I was trying to appease the white folks. I'm talking in a matter of 24 hours, I became an anti-black streamer who hates black women, who supports racists and white supremacists, spreads harmful rhetoric for the black community.
I think a lot of people cut her loose today, and hey, people gave you the rope.
She be putting on whole ass minstrel shows.
And it's sad because I used to like her.
They would chat while I'm live to persuade my viewers to unfollow me and stop supporting me because I was quote unquote an anti-black. Despite me taking sporadic days off here and there, I think it's time for me to take a break. I hope that I can bounce back from this cloud that's happening right now, because I don't like the feeling.
Man, it's a great trailer.
It's great. And there's a few trailers. That's a really good one. I mean, to me, that movie is worth the price of admission to Lore TV. It's just so good. So
yeah,
I encourage everybody to watch that.
What's up, y'all? I hope everyone is adjusting to this dumpster fire of a year, or whatever the hell is left of it at this point. So, this video is going to be very different from my normal content, and I suspect I'm going to piss off a lot of people.
Good preview.
Yeah, that's good. And follow if you don't already, follow Gothics on all of her channels. But she's really bold. I think she's really an inspiration, and love it. Big fan.
Yeah, Monique Wright says, "What is this?" That is Gothics, the documentary. It's available on FolkLOOR.tv, and just phenomenal story of somebody being canceled by the woke mob and just coming out better on top of her cancellation. Just tremendous. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. You can watch it on FolkLOOR TV. And shout out to Graham for that work.
Yeah.
And that guy is insanely talented, just insanely talented. And he is probably one of the best documentary filmmakers I know. and I say that as somebody who's made documentaries, and there's no way I could ever do anything on that level that he does. My documentaries are more like reality TV. Like that's what I do. That is
you're just making what you love.
Yeah, he's storycraft. That's what he does. So.
And one of the comments that my daughter made was, you don't think about the effect of words that you post on the internet on people, and watching in real time somebody their life be torn apart by comments on YouTube, and the effect that it had on her income and everything. It's really powerful to just watch the cancellation process in real time. And but then also it's such a hopeful story because of how she came out the other side. So it's such a great movie.
Yeah. So for sure watch that film, and tell others to watch it and whatnot as well. So that anything else you want to say on that, Sean?
No, just for people to watch it and just encourage. Graham is he's a great example. So Graham is the director, a guy that didn't get some big funding to do this. He totally bootstrapped it. And it just goes to show that you do not need, like for Amazon, your average doc budget is probably about 2.5 million is like a starting point for any feature length documentary. And people believe now that you can't make a film for under that. And the reality is there's people like Graham and a lot of the people you see on FolkLOOR TV that are doing really incredible projects for a sliver of that amount. And it's not about money. It's just about talent and just bootstrapping and being creative and having a great subject. And so I just get excited when I see how much stuff's on FolkLOOR TV where people didn't have 2.5 million or even 500,000, and they're doing great work.
And we could talk about the impact of that documentary on Gothic's life. Who was not the filmmaker; she was a subject, and she is speaking at colleges now. She's doing university tours, and she's part of Eric July's Ripaverse as one of Eric's commentators. So just amazing, just catapulted everything as a result of making that film. And so one of the best FolkLOOR has for sure. It's amazing that we were entrusted with it, and I'm thankful for Graham for letting us be the platform that tells that story. So
and a shout out to Gothix. She is, if you ever get a chance to meet her or see her when she speaks, she's hyper intelligent, very humble, and she's really funny. She's one of the wittiest, funniest people. And it might seem like an obvious comparison, but I look at Candace Owen, who's also extremely intelligent, very vocal, but Candace can rub people the wrong way. And Gothix has this way about her where she really she leads by example and by what she does. And there's still a kindness to her, and she doesn't attack people. And she's been very attacked. So I just really commend her for her strength. As a woman, as an artist, she's really someone we need more people like her for young people to look up to. She's a true role model.
100%.
Yeah.
And we need platforms that'll promote new role models just like that. So that's why you should subscribe to loor.tv, LOOR.tv, and indie filmmakers and indie entertainment like that. So
Monique writes, interesting choice to compare her. I think she's probably to say to Candace, and hopefully that didn't rub anyone the wrong way, but I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from on that. It takes a lot to have a voice and to share your opinion and to stand for something, but try to do it in the most graceful way possible. to just always have grace and not attack people or, call people names or whatever. That's hard to do.
And she's a good example. We were talking about how conservatives always live in response and criticism rather than trying to build something and create art. And
conservatives are very much like AI, right? They only respond to what already exists, right?
Yeah.
There's no new creation. It's it's all based on past ideas.
And but her and her husband are both committed storytellers, comic book. They're working in comic books now, right? They've, instead of just saying, "Oh, I can get more and more views just by always being critical," they said, "Let's build something." They're both just wonderful. They're fun people to hang around just because they're so interested in building and creating, and they're really enjoyable.
I like that. What is it too early? Is the band? I heard the drummer.
Oh no, we got to do the
week.
trivia answer.
We got to do the trivia while the band is creating its song.
Yeah. I heard that is the title of this. Is it Streep Tease? Is that what they're gonna?
They've been going for all kinds of things. So
the keyboardist just texted me and he was like, "Try to get us, see if the guys will." I don't know. Anyways,
go with that name. We talked about this. The trivia question was: Netflix launched in 1997 as an in-mail DVD rental company, and in 2007 they launched their streaming service, but in the year 2000, there was a famous meeting where Blockbuster laughed at an acquisition offer, where they were saying to Blockbuster, "You can buy us for this amount." And so the question was, how much was that offer? So in the year 2000, Netflix offered to sell itself to Blockbuster Video for $50 million, which sounds like a lot, but Blockbuster laughed at them, turned down the offer. Blockbuster went bankrupt in 2014, and today Netflix is worth $257 billion.
Over $250 billion.
Over $250 billion, which they could have had for $50 million. Now, the fact that they turned it down means I don't think we would have Netflix, because I don't think Blockbuster would have known what to do with it, even at $50 million. But it's they turned down an acquisition offer because they said nobody's ever going to want non-physical media. They're going to want to, hold it in their hands. So,
well, we've heard this story before.
Yes, we have.
No one's going to go download music.
Yeah. Right.
Wasn't this during the time too? Like they at least had. They could look at Napster and go, "No, this is creating a problem. Digital transmission of entertainment is creating a problem." So they were actually stupider.
Yeah, they should. They should
have seen
it
happening. Coming. It was happening to the music industry in real time, but they were able to look back and at least look back at the iPod and Apple and iTunes and go, "Well, obviously this is going to happen." Yeah, right. And so, when was that offer made?
The year 2000.
The year.
Oh wow.
So that was okay. So they were still doing.
It wasn't 2007
streaming at that time. Okay. Yeah.
No. 2007 is when they launched their streaming.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So but that's still weird. That's still a weird play because, They just thought that people wanted to actually go into the store and smell a Blockbuster.
Yeah,
which people do. People do. Yeah, people miss the smell of a Blockbuster, but
Blockbusted by Vicar. That's a good doc. Is anyone doing a documentary on Blockbuster?
There's a documentary on the last Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon.
It's a good documentary.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, did you get that?
Have you been there, Jason? Have you been there?
No, I haven't.
Me and you should go there.
Yeah, we should just drive down there.
Away. We should just drive down there sometime and check that out. But go ahead, Sean.
Oh, I was going to ask you, did you get that fun fact from Binge Times?
No, it's the story of Netflix. I think it was the.
Oh, okay.
the name of it, but it's in Binge Times as well.
It's the book is called This Could Never Work.
Oh yeah, This Could Never Work. Yeah, the story of Netflix.
Yeah. So
wow, that's a good one. 50 million. Yeah, that's a good return on investment. Had that worked out. Sounds like those guys that made that decision went to the Jeffrey Katzenberg and Meg Whitman School of Business. That was a Quibi joke for any of you.
That was a good Quibi joke.
Streaming nerds.
It was good. It was a subtle Quibi joke, but it was really good for anybody that knows their history. So.
I think what is fascinating to me about it is how many people didn't believe that the internet was going to change things the way that it did. Like they couldn't imagine a future where things worked differently. That just fascinates me to think about. These people are at the top of their game. They're at the they're the board of Blockbuster Video. And how did you get there if you can't see into the future at all?
Yeah, it would be like a bunch of typewriter manufacturers in the early 80s going, no, people are always going to want to have the sound of those keys hitting the paper. They're not going to want to use a electronic printer.
I don't know. There's a big market for loud keyboards nowadays. I don't know if you know that. So they were kind of right about that.
Hey, that's actually a good idea. If your keyboard could mimic the sound of an old like Smith Corona or whatever those brands were. Because that was a nice sound.
Yeah. Wow, you got the Tom Hanks knowledge of typewriters, don't you? He's a big typewriter collector. You know that?
For real? In the real life?
No. Tom Hanks has like a massive collection of like cool. Ancient typewriters.
I was an 8mm film camera collector at one point, and then I got rid of them all, and now I really regret that. But if anyone's got an 8mm film camera collection, I'd love to just send a photo.
Yeah, Jason, where's the band?
It should be uploading to you right now.
All right,
good.
For whatever reason, the band didn't send a video this time.
Oh, I heard.
Okay,
that's weird. Well, maybe that'll make them sound better.
Yeah, maybe
less time on the video. They impressed me. The polka track they did last year or last week was. I didn't know they could do polka.
They can do anything.
You think about that range from Norwegian death metal to polka.
Yeah. Yep. Nobody can do it like maybe
Dave Grohl.
Oh man.
All right. Well, I'm going to upload the music that we have now.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a video.
Do you guys want to plug your Substacks real quick so people know that you guys are really prolific writers?
Sure. I'm over at Jason Farley. It's on Substack. Really great name. And I write about poetry and literature and storytelling and restoring the classics to the conversation, things like that.
Yeah, and you can find
pretty specific.
And you can find me at imkingginger.substack.com, and the title of my blog Substack is called Poorly Written. You can go there. And I write about movies and TV shows and pop culture and how to build pop culture. So
I like both of your Substacks. I don't have a Substack, but I do have a Spotify. It's Sean Voyage for any of you that like music.
It's a Spotify playlist.
It's Spotify, but there's a lot of good ones. So please go in there so I can get more than like 4 followers.
Yeah, there we go. Follow the Sean Voyage Spotify playlist. All right, you ready for this? Well, what is the genre the band did today?
Today they did flute loop 90s East Coast hip hop.
All right.
That's deep.
Aslan's a queen now, know what I mean. They flip the script like late night dreams. Truth comes up, but it's also clean.
Can you turn the volume?
That's as loud as they gave me.
Late fees gone, it's a screaming thrust. The lion roars and the world combust. Documentary spin, puppets on the screen. Truth in black, white, and all the in between. Popcorn stale, but the message pristine. Old ways fade, but the soul stays keen. Flutes play loops like a whispered thought. East side beats rhythm cold but hot. Aslan's new frame got him caught in in a knot. They can't handle change, but change they got. Rewind fingers once fast on tape. Now no returns, it's all escape. Digital lines.
That's not like Charisma and Peter Butter Wolf. Or High and Mighty.
Rewinds won't save that ancient trust. Late fees gone, it's a streaming thrust. The lion roars in a world combust.
It's good. These guys are good lyricists.
They are. And just on the fly. They just listen to the podcast and write it as they go.
This has got a real East Coast, like a Philly 94 vibe.
Yep. It's like 98, like Black Star.
Like Black Star, Far Side.
Yeah.
PH Far Side, not F.
Far Side, yeah.
Did you say the genre is Fruit Loop, like the software maker?
Flute Loop.
Flute Loop. Okay. Is that what I'm hearing now?
Yeah.
We just got to tell them to turn the volume up next time.
Seriously, what's going on?
Yeah. It's like,
all right, guys. Thanks everybody for tuning in to the FolkLOOR podcast. We'll see you again next week, same time. And be sure to go and subscribe to loor.tv, LOOR.tv. You can subscribe there. You can fund with your own subscription money indie artists, movies, filmmakers, not let Greta destroy the stories that you love.